The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered 12. I covered.
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Welcome to a fresh week, boys and girls. Happy Monday. It's time for another episode of the Bostonian versus the Book. Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book. Same on Twitter X. Replayed on Sports Grid TV and Sirius XM channel 159. Week 0, Dave. Welcome to college football. How are you on the Monday?
It's not really college football. It's a couple games. There's, Georgia Tech and Florida State's the best game. 11.5-point spread. That's fine. Delaware State, SMU. It's starting. It's officially starting, but it's not really official. It's still baseball season. There's UFC over the weekend. That was a pretty good event. I want to shout out right at the top. Big Head Chad and wife Rachel had a nice trip out. Saw us down at the Circa, which we will be on Thursday and Friday live. But saw them, and Chad gave me the guy opposite that Ursig guy. He said that guy's going to win. And
Kai Kara France.
I knew you'd know the name.
There
it is.
Smoked him in the first round.
Smoked him. I mean, I was out, and I got to meet Zeno, and it's going to be my favorite thing about today, which we do at the end of the show. But I was out. I got a text from Big Head Chad. 7 7/8, P-Roll.
Damn. Big noggin. Almost an 8-incher. Wow.
Almost 8 inches. No. That's circumference. 8. But yeah, Big Head Chad. I put his hat on. You ever put on a 7 7/8?
No.
I did, and it immediately dropped down like this. I couldn't see nothing. It was down. So yeah, it was good. But they're watching the show. They're back in North Carolina. Want to shout them out. Roll Call Friday was a success. We had over 40 states, 4 countries check in.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you. It's football season.
It's football season. I know that people get it's not full-blown football, but it's bettable football. It's real football. It's not preseason football. It's actually 4 quarters. The record will count. It's a win. If you win, it counts. It's not a 0. It's not a.
Then why is it called week 0?
Because they got all confused because week 1, and then they said, well, actually, we can play games on the 24th now. So if you want to play games, you can schedule it on the 24th. If you have a scheduling conflict, go ahead and play before Labor Day. And thus they were like, well, we already call it week 1 is Labor Day. So what do we do? Well, let's call it week 0. Okay, that's dumb, but it's, it's what it is. It's week 0. So we have a Florida State game. There are no Big Ten games, guys, being played this weekend, which is important because that gives us 2 weeks left to enter into the Big Ten Survivor contest. We got to fill this up, okay? It's been a little bit lagging. We got to get going here.
Lagging? A lot of you worried that it ain't even open.
A lot of you have said, hey, I'm doing it, Matt. I'm doing it, Dave. I'm going to be a part of it. I'm getting a team. Okay. And that's fine. I know it's one of those last minute things. It's going to be all like a big rush. Okay. I understand. But you're going to log on to splashsports.com/BVB to enter this contest. Now, I know a bunch of you are like, okay, is Splash Sports legal in the state that I live in? Here is their availability for Survivor games. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, I don't know what the issue is, but clearly the laws are not great. Nevada makes a lot of sense. But most of the Midwest, outside of Iowa and Pennsylvania, pretty much the whole Big Ten, Michigan and New York and New Jersey, just hold on. Keep checking. They say like any day now that's going to become legalized.
New Jersey is now blue, by the way.
Okay, so it is good. Okay, yeah. Oh, it's right. Jersey is blue now. Very good. So now it's just down to two states. So Michigan and New York are the 2 states now that they'll hopefully get them approved. Now, Michigan's been a big area of concern for people. So to be a part of this, it's very easy. It's $100 per entry. They're giving you 5. We said 3. They're giving you 5. So you can go and do 5 full entries if you want. and have a good chance of taking this thing down. 14 weeks, 18 teams. You can't use the same team twice. Typical Survivor rules all the way up through the regular season. Okay. Regular season, not the Big Ten title game. So log on to splashsports.com/BVB to enter into our Big Ten football Survivor contest, because we want to keep doing this stuff, guys. So if no one does it, we won't do it. So if you guys like it, let's do it. So if you talked about it, thought about it, wanted to do it, let's go get in. If you need to get around, go to a state that is open for you. Not yet, CBW. New York's coming. New York will be there very, very soon. And yes, Santana, I still need to sign up. Yes, please go and sign up. I know you have 2 weeks though. Okay. You got 2 weeks. So it's not like it's right now, but J-Dow signed up today. Thank you, buddy.
Attaboy, J-Dow.
Appreciate you being a part of it. So very good. Second bit of business here. We told you on Friday that we were going to give away a 2-night stay at the D for you to be able to come to the live shows on Thursday and Friday. This is live show week, guys. Okay. Ultimate Football Contest Weekend at Circus Sports is happening Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We had one trip, not including transportation, but they will pick you up from the airport, Circus Sports will, and bring you to the D, and you will be there on Thursday night and Friday night. We had a bunch of you who went to our website, thebvbshow.com, to enter into this contest. The winner, are we prepared to announce this, Dave?
Prepared for anything and anything that you might say right now.
All right, the winner of the 2-night stay at the D. This is going to be an email you're going to get from us after the show is over, but from Kentucky, Discord username Transkilla, Brian Roof. Congratulations.
Roof!
You have won a 2-night stay Thursday night and Friday night this week at the D. They're going to pick you up at the airport and bring you to the hotel, and you can come to the live show on Thursday and Friday and be on with us one of those 2 days to sit down and talk about whatever you want to talk about. SEC football, Kentucky basketball.
Oh, my.
Whatever you want. A lot of fun things we can talk about.
Wow.
Sports just went legal in Kentucky, so you have a chance to go ahead and use and meet Derek Stevens and meet the operation folks who are going to be there as well. So, Brian Roof, congratulations. You will be headed here to Vegas. You got to get yourself here, okay? Well, get yourself here. We got you for your hotel and transportation. The rest of it's on you. So, congratulations. The Ultimate Contest Weekend begins on Thursday at Circus Sports.
That's fantastic. And I guess it ties into Kentucky being legal with Circa. So, like, this will kind of be a nice synergy thing. So congratulations to the roof. The roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let the burn. I didn't say it, Will. I didn't say it. We're never getting off late night anyway, but that's okay. Congratulations to the roof. Hopefully you can get the flight arrangements made. We understand if you cannot.
But Allegiant is quick. It flies out of Kentucky.
Okay.
Direct flight to Vegas.
Okay.
So you can hop on a cheap flight from Allegiant and get here.
Well, that's awesome. So hopefully you
one way.
can. If for whatever reason you can't, Roof,
please tell us.
Email us as soon as you can, because then we'll get it to somebody who can. Like, there were multiple entries and stuff. So
we got
that's
backup.
awesome.
We got backup.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a brigade recruit or not, but Devin MacArthur. First time I'm seeing this.
Hello, Devin. Good to see you, sir. If you are a recruit, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I got this hat. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers City Connect. Wearing the T-shirt too. The fit is nice. I got this. Where did I get this? Dodgers. One of the local places here. I don't remember if it was at our friends at Uniform Sports. I don't remember if it was at the Dodgers clubhouse store. And I don't remember if it was at Lids, but all three just got to mention. Shout out. And Devin, I will check and see if I know. Go to thebvbshow.com and send an email, and I will be able to respond to that later tonight. So I honestly don't remember, Devin. I'm lucky I remember my name right now. It's been a long weekend.
a couple of quick things, just as we mentioned before on that. So Thursday, Friday, live from Circus Sports, 12 to 2 each day on the third floor. So if you are going to come to town and be a part of it, I think they're going to let people up there. They did last year. It's all the way upstairs. So third floor at Circa, where we'll be for 2 live shows on Thursday and on Friday. So we're really excited to get going with that. If you are someone who is going to want to sign up for the proxy service, know that Dave and I will be tied up from like 11 until 2:30. So try to make arrangements around there, but we can meet you before the show or after the show to sign up. So just FYI, just know if you're going to come in, we're around, obviously Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're around, but Thursday, Friday, we'll be on site, but we'll be actually upstairs. So we'll be a little bit tied up for a couple of hours, but we can definitely take care of you guys. If you're coming to Vegas, we're going to go sign up a couple of Boston guys today. We got our friend Jeremy, who's still in town. He's coming back to town, sign up more on Tuesday. So we're around and we'll be a part of signing people up all week. But Thursday, Friday live show will be a little bit on the time crunch side of things for us on that. All right. What happened this weekend? Well, what happened this weekend is no offense, Dave, because it was one of those weeks where if you bet overs, you got killed. 14-2 to the under.
Yep.
In the 16 preseason games. This under in this week in the NFL. Overall, 26-6. It's a 78.8% clip to the under so far in week 2 of the NFL preseason. We have one more week to go. Any theories as to why the numbers have been way overinflated?
Well, they weren't inflated. They got knocked down pretty good, and there were a lot of people in the content space and in the betting world that bet overs and got beat up. Do you watch the games? You watch the games. I watched some of the Steelers games.
I didn't watch. I mostly bet and just bet it and forget it type games.
Yeah,
so I bet one under, one over yesterday. So I went 1-1, and I mean, all the joint practice games basically went under. Like every team that had a joint practice went under. It was just like automatic under. The only reason I bet the over is because New Orleans and the Niners were supposed to have a joint practice, but the Niners were so hurt that they couldn't do it. They couldn't actually field a joint practice. So I thought there was a chance. It got off to a very fast start, and then the second half hit, and it was goodbye. There was absolutely no scoring in that game.
You watch the games, and it feels like they just started practicing when you're watching the games. I think September is going to be an extended preseason because I don't think anybody's doing anything this last preseason game. It looks that way. I mean, I peaked. I ended up taking a nap trying to watch the game. I love one of my favorite things about watching the preseason games is you get the local announcers.
Right.
So, the guy that gave me my first internship is still working at KDK, Bob Pompiani in Pittsburgh. Him and Charlie Batch are doing the games. We met Charlie Batch at Super Bowl this year, walking around. We took a picture and we talked about Bob. Bob wasn't out here, but so I feel like I'm listening to friends do the game. It's fun to listen to teams that have nothing but hope, excitement. I mean, Caleb's going to win the MVP in Chicago. They're going to make the playoffs, and they can't lose if you watch the games with him. And I don't take much more away from it than that. Like, I don't know. Did you see anything that made you believe like anything is going to apply to regular season?
No, because I watched Gardner Minshew for 2 games now, and I'm stunned that the Raiders named him the starting quarterback. I was like, am I watching the same offense with I mean, they're clearly running different stuff in the practices with Gardner Minshew than they are in the games, because when he's in the game, he looks like he's on the complete wrong page of his wide receivers. I mean, it's like, what are we doing, guys? I mean, he's throwing the ball high, he's throwing the ball late, like he's just not accurate. And look at this is why I bet under on 6.5 wins for the Raiders, and I think Gardner Minshew just factors right into that. I think the Raiders are going to be bad. I think this is going to be a really rough first year. And maybe I'm just being tainted by watching what happened with Devontae Adams for the receiver show, but he just, sorry, Will, I won't say, but he just MF'd everyone. He MF'd everyone. When a player says, I'm going to get killed playing here, I'm going to get killed. He goes, they're going to kill me here. If I keep playing here, they're going to kill me. Like, this is one of the best wideouts. If you talk about, like, who do the best wideouts look up to, it's Devontae Adams. And so now he's going to play a year. He came here to play with Derek Carr. He didn't come here to play with Gardner Minshew. Like, he could be a complete malcontent. Like, he may get me out of here. I don't want to be here. And if you're Antonio Pierce, you're supposed to be like this defensive guy. And I get that. He's going to bring a different identity. But I just think in this division, you got to score. I'm not buying the Bo Nix stuff, but maybe it is real. Maybe Bo Nix really, with Sean Payton, really is going to have an awesome opportunity. Maybe he is going to be great. So if he is going to be great, the Bronco offense is going to be better. The Chiefs are in this division. And you've got Harbaugh now running an offense that we don't yet really know what the Chargers are going to be, but it's going to be better than the offense the Raiders are going to have.
I can't believe how Patrick Mahomes threw a behind-the-back pass.
Right.
And it's been seen 18 million times. And then, it was so funny because, Jess is like a quasi-Chiefs fan now after last year and all this other stuff. And she's like, hey, did you see Mahomes behind the back pass? I'm like,
Jeez.
yeah. And Kendall goes, what was the big deal? It was awesome. Uh-oh, we got the lawn guy showed up. Damn it. All right, well, we'll talk as much as I can, and Matt will mute his mic while the lawn guy hopefully gets all those leaves off of there. There's a lot of stuff blow around this weekend. I know I need the lawn guy over here at some point to blow that stuff around.
He just, like, every once in a while he'll come right by because there's a doggy door in this room that I don't use, and then he'll just, like, stick the blower right into it, and it sounds like it's a hurricane in here. It's just like,
ask him who he likes tonight in the Astros game if you can. The Red Sox. I'm curious what if he has a play. The lawn guy play.
Well, the pool guy used to bet, so unfortunately
the
they
pool
changed.
guy was awesome.
Yeah,
I wanted to get that guy on the show.
They changed the lawn guy. I don't know if they bet, but the pool guy used to bet, but they changed companies with that. So we'll see how that. No, I'm not playing sound effects, football guy. I thought I was playing sound effects. It'd be fun. It was. I mean, that's like the next iteration of the show is to play sound effects on this. So, you can go ahead and play a little drops.
Got to make sure we don't get no copyright infringements. Those emails. I'm now that I'm on that email list, I see those and I'm like, what did we say or do that even prompted that? I don't even remember. Speaking of football guy, 97, him and Lewis got together at the Steeler game over the weekend and posted a picture.
I knew I forgot to grab something. I'm sorry. It was on my list of things to pull. I forgot to pull that. I'll get that tomorrow. I promise you guys, because that picture was awesome.
Fantastic.
I showed that to Amanda, and I was like, you know what? I was like, this makes the show. This is why we do the show. These are two dudes who didn't know each other before the show, and they're not going to a game together. Like, that's pretty damn cool.
Drove from Eastern PA to Western PA to Pittsburgh to go to the game, tailgate with, Mrs. Rain, did a spread. We're going to do this at some point this season in Pittsburgh. Rain's going to be our host. Lewis is going to take care of it all. I just know it. And that was fun. And tomorrow, between Joe C. Myers posting a picture of him in the hat, we had Otto at the basketball game, the Fever game yesterday, posting a picture of him in the hat. Things becoming real, and it's just in time for college football season. So
we need to do that. We need to do, like, where is the BVB? Like, we need to do a brigade like picture thing, like change the hashtag to like something. I've come up with something catchy, like, where is the BVB, or like brigade on site or something like that, because I would love to see how many different venues with college football, college basketball, the NBA, and NFL and baseball. How many different venues?
We've been at 5 or 6 baseball games already this season.
Yeah, easy. Easy. It would be really neat to see how many different places we actually could get people to be a part of, and to have them just take pictures and just, we don't, because Mikey Awesome is the OG. He's the original, right? He took the hat, he put it on all those different outlooks, all the different places when he was driving.
Yeah.
So he kind of started the where is the BVB hat. He's put that thing in England. He's put that thing in Washington, D.C., all over the place.
He went to Fenway. Fenway,
yeah.
And saw a baseball game. And we all kind of started doing it. That's why it's fun to get in the Discord, and you can get to the Discord by going to the website, thebvbshow.com, and communicate with each other. I mean, it all started from that, and you guys have taken it and owned it, and it's been awesome. And Brigade on site, hashtag Brigade invades. There's all kind of options. We'll come up with something. Keep them coming, boys. Email what you think it should be called. We might call the segment that. We'll see if Sonic can put together a thing, and we'll do a Brigade in the Wild. Maybe two.
You know what?
races,
That's actually a pretty good idea
Yeah.
of doing that like once a week, like on
Yeah.
on roll call Friday before
Yeah.
we do the roll calls.
Yeah.
We just say, where was the brigade this week? And just take the pictures and just take them
Right.
all, kind of line them up and just say, like, here's all the different
Well,
pictures.
it might be a
people.
good Tuesday thing. I'm thinking like
Okay.
wrap around the weekend.
All right,
And
fair.
then some Monday night football, some Monday night things happen, whatever. But then we compile them all and, kind of wrap them up and put them up together on Tuesday just to kind of, I don't know, just what we're thinking out loud. We're having production meetings right now in the middle of the rundown. So that's kind of what we're doing. But you guys are a part of that. I mean, like the chat is a big part of the show. It's fun. It is as much fun doing the show live and watching the chat as it is waiting for whatever clock setting, whatever it is, to get to the next day to get the chat live and watch it live when you missed it. I'm getting a lot of texts and DMs are like, hey, I missed the show, but I'm going to wait until the replay with the chat. That's fine because, there are things that you miss if you miss it live. If you can't be here live, we understand. Just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. So you are part of the show every day.
Right. So we're talking Pittsburgh. Russell Wilson sacked 3 times in a 9-3 loss to the Bills. Are you still on the Justin Fields should start train?
I'm watching, listening. I still don't know. They don't know. They haven't named the quarterback. Like I saw right before we started, Jaden Daniels is going to be the starting quarterback for Washington. Over the weekend, Gardner Minshew did the pose, and he's starting for the Raiders. It's Monday before the last regular season game. Caboli's on with Pat now, and talking, tweeting. Ponies in Pittsburgh, trying to mush the Pirates, and they still beat the Mariners and everything else. Everybody wants to know who the starting quarterback is.
Yeah.
I said it when they signed him. I thought that Justin Fields would be the starter. I still think he will be, but I have no idea. Do you? I mean, did you see anything that would indicate you have a feeling one way or the other?
From the get-go, I thought when you acquired a more mobile, younger quarterback, that if I was a Steeler wideout or if I was a Steeler defensive player, I would say, I think Fields gives us a better chance to win. Look, Russ, you've been great and all, but come on now. Let's talk about mobility. And if the offensive line is going to have some questions, which clearly Russ had some problems with protections, he got hit 3 times, sacked. I would play Justin Fields, but you have a major problem on your hands. If you're going to start Justin Fields, you must either cut or trade Russell Wilson. He cannot sit there on the sidelines. He will be horrific.
I don't know. I got a really and Big Head Chad and Rachel and I talked for a while about the Steelers.
Okay.
He's a huge Steeler fan guy. He said Russell Wilson will bring a veteran presence to a young wide receiver core that they desperately need because they haven't had that. It was a young quarterback. Kenny Pickett last year. What could he tell them?
But there were 2 veteran quarterbacks behind Kenny Pickett.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work either one, and they
because
both
they
played.
Couldn't physically perform the job.
But can
that
Russell
was
Wilson?
My point.
But can Russ physically perform the job? I don't know.
This is my point. This didn't really work out great in Denver, but he did say he threw 26 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in Denver, and I went okay, but
he got sacked a ton. Their offense was anemic. They couldn't score. I mean, he was on the same page.
Give the kids something to vote on right now. Give them a poll. Who should start week 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Justin Fields or Russell Wilson? I'm curious what people will vote. I don't know. I feel like people are going to vote Justin Fields because we've kind of been carrying that, baton like that. But what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh,
He's Mr. Unlimited. Come on.
damn.
Start Justin Fields. I'm so glad Wilson isn't Denver's problem anymore.
There you go, Fish. See?
Him in 2 weeks. He's coming to Vegas. Is none of the above an option? I mean, I don't know.
No.
I mean,
One of those two is starting. One of those. Don't even bring that into the mix. Is none of the above an option. CBW, what are you talking about? It's already a mess. Who's going to start another guy? Like, come on. Speaking of Denver, did you see the uniforms? Did you see
Which
what they
ones?
wore? The one
No.
they wore yesterday.
No.
They went like Boise State, like they went
Blue
white
helmets?
top with orange pants.
Okay. And white helmet?
No, white helmet. Like
white helmet. No. I can't do the white. Unless was it the old school D? Was it the old school D logo with the Bronco?
I saw it from the front, so I don't know what was on the side.
Okay, if you're gonna go the old school, that's the old school logo. That's the John Elway logo. The John Elway days, they did that. I'm okay with that. I like that logo a lot.
That D is a tremendous D.
Mm.
You know, I love the D's. Any hats with the D's, period. This D has a little fancy LA, but I know my first initial is D. Bring back the Orange Crush unis. Tell them, Fish, what are they doing to the uniforms? Our boy Robert out in LA tweeted it. It says every iteration of the Bronco uniform is getting worse and away from what made them great. Orange pants, one jersey, blue helmet. Okay, thank you, Bombay. I appreciate that. Is that the long guy's right up there?
Yeah, well, that is the old school Denver Broncos, what we grew up with. The blue helmet, the white D, that's John Elway. I mean, and then they flipped it sometimes when they had the orange jersey, orange pants. That's the Carla Mecklenburg Orange Crush defense.
Yeah, we need that. Steve Atwater, Randy Gradishar.
Corbin, I got to come see you. We got hats to make, my friend.
I love those ones they wore. That white was solid.
So he likes the uniforms.
And I respect Corbin's opinion about so many things. Now that I know Corbin's watching the show, shout out, happy 2-year-old birthday to little Corbin.
Nice.
His daughter, Jolene, had a big birthday party. He was all weekend. That we got hats to make, and the kid was out taking care of family business. Just like that line in The Godfather, man's not a man unless he spends time with his family.
Amen to that.
Every day.
Amen.
So, I don't know, Corb. We got to check on that. Uniforms.
Question from J2 Hustle. What do you guys think about the Browns and Deshaun Watson? What it will be? Do you guys think Watson's days are up? No, I don't think his days are up. I just think he's going to have, it's very difficult to be away from the game for as long as he was and return to the form that he had with the Houston Texans. The guy also has absolutely no confidence. So I don't know what he is, to be honest with you. I don't know if his days are up, but he has to go and refine the Houston version of himself, and I'm not sure that's possible given what he went through.
J2 Hustle, thank you for being here. I don't know if you're technically a recruit or you're a regular BVB person, but that avatar of you and the wife/girlfriend, I don't know because I don't know.
Right.
That's a great picture. Keep bringing that up and keep bringing the questions. Brother Dan's in the chat. I just looked down.
Wow.
You're part of the problem because every time a team changes their uniforms, your dumbass 50-plus-year-old goes out and buys them. That is not true, Brother Dan. All right?
Spoken like a true brother right there.
I mean, that ain't right. It ain't right.
That's tremendous.
I don't buy the uniform. I buy the hats. I get the T-shirt. It was
a
combo deal here.
So are you ready for the Patriot hype talk? Are you ready?
Hold on. Get the glasses for this.
You ready?
I saw this rundown. I said, this is who the hell? ESPN.com, if you're watching the show right now, we're taking one of your segments. Okay. I just want to let you know.
So they did a thing on ESPN, the front page of ESPN.com of teams that could make the playoffs. And the Patriots were the number 2 selection. And the reason is what I've been telling you all summer about the Patriots.
Tell me again. I got new headphones. Go ahead.
Let's start with the defense because the Patriots did in the second half in 2023 is one of the most underreported performances of last season. From week 10 onward, the Patriots, not the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Jets, were the best defense in football. They allowed 1.3 points per drive and a minus 1.12 expected points every play. Both were tops in the NFL. Although defense is going to have a hot stretch by forcing wild high turnover rates, as the Bears did over that same stretch in the second half, the Pats created turnovers on 7% of opposing drives, which was the 5th lowest rate in the league. The Patriots, I think people are underreporting the fact that they traded Matthew Judon because they're cool with the defense. They're like, we don't need to pay him. He's 32. 32-year-olds fall off the table when it comes to talent and pass rushing ability. Look at the number of big-time pass rushers, J.J. Watt, who retired at that age. So we're going to be fine because we're going to go with a youth movement, and we have younger options, cheaper options to go and attack the quarterback. Patriots secondary is going to be nasty. Linebackers are going to be good. They may need to win every game 13-10, but the number is 5. 5 wins. Not making the playoffs, but 5 wins.
One of my favorite gifts right now is John Candy in the movie when he goes, "Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Sounds good. Sounds great. That's a really good theory. Their offense is going to be, sorry, Will, shit.
Why? Jacoby Brissett might be the best backup quarterback in the league.
Oh, seriously.
Why?
Are you listening?
Jacoby
to the
Brissett,
words coming out of your mouth?
Jacoby Brissett is not horrible. He's not awful. Run the football. He doesn't throw picks. Jacoby Brissett doesn't hurt you. He's not Mahomes. He's not going to wow you. He doesn't make mistakes. He just is a steady guy who's back in New England, who's got a young receiving core to work with, who's going to run the football and let the defense do the defensive things. I am not nearly as down on this Patriot team as everybody else is because, yes, is the game designed to be offensive? Yes, it is. Is it a first-year coach? Yes, he is. Playoffs? No. But winning 5-6 games, I don't think that's crazy.
Okay, the question here says the Pats to make the playoffs, question mark. ESPN says it's not crazy. Don't believe everything you hear and see on ESPN either. All right?
Well,
that's
obviously.
First and foremost. 2, I wish this said OKM because I'd be like, right now, okay, Matt. But, all right, this is the OKC. You crazy. What? The playoffs?
I don't think I'm crazy. I don't think I'm nuts.
Playoffs?
I don't think this could be a highly entertaining year in New England, more than people are recognizing. People are just saying they're going to be awful. They're going to be awful. They're going to be awful. I don't think they're going to be awful. Okay. I mean,
wow, Chef Benny said 3 wins. And Chef Benny's a Patriot apologist. He's a
Yep.
Boston homer too. I love you, Chef Benny. Don't take it like personal. You know that. We're all brothers here, sisters, brigaders, recruits, all that. But this team is going to be caca.
Okay. I think Drake May could play by the middle of the year. I think Jacoby Brissett is a guy who has been really good at times. I mean,
Addison the Reds just came in and said, check Matt's studio for mold.
It's fine. You can say this. This is all fine. I'm just telling you guys. I've been telling you all summer long that you guys can talk about how bad the Patriots are going to be, but defense in the NFL can win you games. The Chiefs just
They're
won.
going to be on the field too much. This is like the Steelers. Like somehow the Steelers nursed their way to 9 wins without an offense last year.
Okay.
They get exhausted. They get tired. They this, to that.
Here's from the ESPN.com article. Did you know that Jacoby Brissett is the only quarterback who has posted a better interception rate since he entered the league than Aaron Rodgers?
He didn't throw the ball that
Yeah, he did.
much.
Yeah, he did. He played a lot. He was starting quarterback. Remember the Browns? He played for the Browns a lot.
Handed it off a lot.
Yeah, he threw the ball too. He doesn't throw picks.
Well, that's good. They can't afford to throw picks.
Nope, they can't afford it.
Play.
He doesn't throw interceptions. He's not going to hurt the team and put the defense into bad situations. They've got a couple of really nice young guys who they drafted, who they like a lot. And I think at some point, Drake May will wind up playing. Look, we underestimate what it was like in that locker room last year, knowing that Belichick was out. Like they knew from about like week 6 on that Belichick was gone.
Yeah,
so like when the dude with the ruler who's been whacking your knuckles for the last like 10 years, you know he's about to get kicked out.
Right.
You stop listening to the guy. You're just like, what are you going to do? Like, goodbye. Like, I mean, they tune him out. So, like, how much of last year was just the team not wanting to play for Bill because they knew Bill was getting fired? We're going to find out. I mean, you handed everything over to Gerard Mayo. Do the guys want to play for him? We're going to find out pretty quick because they've got a really hard schedule. So the Patriots have one of the hardest schedules in the NFL, and that's why I think the playoffs are unlikely. But I think winning more than 4.5 games, winning 5 or 6 games is very likely for this team because they should win games thanks to their defense. And there should be games in which they make opposing quarterbacks, Josh Allen, look bad and have picks and have an. So he's been around for a long time. Brissett's been around for a long time for a reason.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen on this. And CBW, good point. ESPN bit needs some Patriot money. Thus the article. Not a crazy point. If that's where we get to, though, by the way, did you see the article? Speaking of which, I didn't put it on the rundown, but he brought it up, so I'll bring it up. That sports betting is going to kill sports writing.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't read it. I saw.
Okay.
I was hoping we would talk about maybe tomorrow.
Okay, but you don't agree with that.
No. Writing is killing writing. AI is killing writing. It has nothing to do. I mean, listen, they want to blame sports betting for everything. The downfall of everything. People being jagoffs at games because of sports betting.
Right.
People yelling at athletes because of sports betting. This is breaking news. This has been going on for a long, long time. Now, you take the art of writing. Sports writing used to be fun, used to be, intelligent, used to be this. Now they take an AI thing and pop in lines, this, that, whatever. It makes it nothing. There's no pulse to it. It's crap.
I remember
not just because of sports betting.
I remember flipping to the back pages of Sports Illustrated to read the column at the end.
Rick Riley.
Every time
you started from the back.
You just
it
went
was
right
like
to
when
it
I was
because,
read Hebrew. It would be right to left. You started on the back. You go to backwards. Read Riley first, then open the front and pick the articles.
And then ESPN page 2, Bill Simmons. I would dive and read everything that he would write. There's not a lot of guys out there right now that command an audience with the written word because it's all been homogenized and made boring. It's all been sports betting hasn't killed anything to do with sports writing. You're right. Sports writing killed sports writing. The newspapers killed sports writing. The internet killed sports writing because we realized there's a lot of people out there that are just as intelligent, funny, and creative with the word as some of the big name guys. And so the competition became sky high. And so you can't, we're not paying for it anymore. We're not paying for the ability, your subscription to Sports Illustrated. Like, you don't get that stuff anymore. Nobody wants to give, I can't tell you how many times I'm asked to subscribe to a paper. And I'm like, why? Like I can get it free somewhere else. What's the point?
I guess, but I used to love getting the Sports Illustrated every week. Ran to the mailbox, ran home from school on Thursdays because that's when it came, and I would read it cover to cover, and I felt like certain writers were talking directly to me.
Yeah,
gone are the days of reading Peter King and Bob Costas columns. No question. Gone are the days. Period of it.
Peter King just retired. Peter King just walked this offseason. He's like, that's it. I'm done. Like, it's not the same thing, but Phil Donahue died today, right?
Yep.
Like 88 years of age. Phil Donahue. If you're of our age, one of the funnier things about being homesick was to watch that garbage TV.
Oh, I didn't think it was garbage. Did you?
Come on. The Phil Donahue show wasn't garbage. Yes, the Phil Donahue show was garbage TV.
I don't know. That was like, I mean, that was before Jerry Springer and all that other stuff.
The precursor. It was before Oprah.
It was before everything.
Yeah, it was the
and
first.
He would have everybody and anybody on.
Oh yeah,
like
it was still garbage.
I saw a clip today of 2 Live Crew coming on.
Right, when they were getting arrested in Miami.
They came on the show.
Yeah, and he was like, "What do you feel about your? Why is your content considered to be risque?" And you've got these guys up there that are just like talking to this guy about their music and being like, "We're being persecuted for what we think," and it was just amazing. I mean, The Price is Right. Yes, you'd stay home and watch The Price is Right.
Oh, JPC, the fourth Claire check you hit up. I mean,
But Phil Donahue was journalism. I guess it's not fair to call it. It devolved. It devolved, not evolved, but it devolved into garbage. In the beginning, I guess it wasn't garbage. In the beginning, it actually was. He tried to have an actual like show about real things.
Wasn't he a journalist by trade?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
I was Oprah.
Right. And that's why that show was, I mean, those shows were good. Like it captivated a lot of people, but Suits and networks and stuff paid people to do this stuff too. Now, I mean, they helped kill sports writing and all of this stuff as well, because now they're like, look, nobody's buying it. We can't sell it. So now there's no market for it. If there was a market for sports writing or newspapers or magazines, there would still be newspapers, magazines, and stuff. There's no one does it anymore.
I'll push back a little bit on this because it's one of the reasons why I stay close to Iowa. Because I think if you look at the way that Iowa covers Iowa athletics, sorry, Will, but this is nobody on either coast gives a fuck about Iowa. Okay?
Bam!
They just don't. Okay? They don't. So you watch the way that Iowans cover Iowa, and they want long form, they want short form, they want video, they want audio, they want in-depth, they want newspaper, they want blog. It's a small state. Okay? It's flyover country. But if you look at Iowa State and the way those sports are covered by the local media, and I used to be a part of it, you look at the way that they spend, the time they spend talking about, the backup kicker. They talk about, the backup quarterback. They talk about the wide receiver coach.
Do stories on that stuff?
Yeah, they write in-depth stories about what they're like, what Matt Campbell's like at home, and like what Kirk Ferentz was like with his son, and how did that dynamic operate last year, and the way that it worked. They cover it in such an interesting way, the way it used to be before the internet, before everything became just so open and everyone writes about everything else. And I still think it could go back to that. I still think, local still works. Writing about local, and UNLV here in Vegas to a point is the same way. Like no one cares about UNLV anywhere else but UNLV, but Las Vegas. And you see stories that are written. You see guys here not making a lot of money, but they're doing it because they like it and they see the program and they want to write about the Rebels. That I think is the future of sports journalism. It's going to be smaller audiences, more, segmented type of coverage for teams that specifically, and guys covering just one team or one university. And you go super in depth into that program, and the Uber fan follows.
Whoa, super in deep,
super in depth, and everybody is going to follow that. I think people are going to come in and be a part of that and wanting to read about that stuff. And you have it in Pittsburgh to a degree. It's like that size city where there's so many different people who have grown up with Steeler football that the national audience really doesn't care, but people in Pittsburgh eat it up. They want it. So the talk radio
audience doesn't care until they're 9-4 and going to
Right.
make the playoffs. And
Right,
then all
exactly,
of a sudden,
yes.
They start coming around practice. They come
Right.
and do packages on, whomever, whatever.
Yeah, it's
or
the
they
problem
have a
the Chiefs are
national
having.
game.
It's a problem the Chiefs are having right now, okay? The Chiefs went from that type of team. The Chiefs went from a team that no one talked about, that they were just kind of an also-ran team. And they were all thinking about, the Len Dawson days and like thinking back to like when the Chiefs were actually relevant.
Len Dawson was a bad mofo.
He was, but then they went, 30 years and they were irrelevant and they had nothing and no one talked about them and they weren't any good. And then they drafted Patrick Mahomes and they got the guy. They brought in Andy Reid. They got the coach quarterback. Then they got the wideout in Tariq Hill. And then they got the tight end. They built it all up and now they're the juggernaut Chiefs where everyone is clamoring. The second most famous person in the stadium in most nights is not the quarterback. It's Taylor Swift and her boyfriend. So like that is the problem for the Chiefs.
First.
She is first. He's second.
He's
Yeah,
second.
she's second. She's first. He's second. So like, I think there's a lot of distractions for this Chiefs team and a lot of things pulling on the Chiefs that are going to make it difficult for them. No one's ever gone to a three-peat and back-to-back is really hard. But even Belichick said over the weekend, like, good luck going 3 times in a row. It's super hard to do it. 2-3 times is unprecedented because no one's been able to do it. So
the best part is that the 2 are already done. It's a new year. Like it would just be 3 years in a row, but it's not any harder because you're starting fresh. Yes, you're getting everybody's best shot. You got everybody's best shot every time Mahomes takes the field.
Yep.
It's so,
but
all
egos
that
are
talk-
different. Egos are different.
Egos are different, but
You got rookies on
players
that
are
team that have
different.
2 rings. You got rookies who've played 2 years, have 2 rings.
That's fine.
It's
hard
tough.
to do. Yeah, it's hard to keep doing, but the culture's there. You have to get lucky with injuries. I don't know, man. As far as like just covering teams and different things, it's what I love about the numbers and the board. Like you literally walk in the book and the board is different every day. What are we going to talk about today? We're going to find something to talk about. The Red Sox and the Astros. You know, that's what's the first game on the board today. It's 5:00 Pacific. You know, we'll have something there, but we'll talk about football all week. We'll talk about Florida State and Georgia Tech. There'll be compelling stories.
Friday.
Yeah.
That's a Friday topic.
Of course.
But look, speaking of the numbers, college football is back. Okay. The national championship market has a lot of familiar looks to it. And here we are looking at names that we have looked at for the better part of the last, 10 years? Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, Alabama. Those are your top 4 choices.
That's 6. There's 6 choices there.
Oh, sorry. No, I know. Oh, I didn't say Ole Miss. Ole Miss is in there because of Jackson Dart. That's the point of bringing this up. But Ole Miss is in there. They're not typically in there.
4 SEC teams and 2 Big Ten teams. Are we surprised? No.
No. Having Ole Miss and Alabama have the same number is
that's surprising a little bit.
That's the woo of this.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is the national title winner one of these 6 teams?
Well, I hope not. But
yes or no?
1, 2, 3. Keep telling me Bama's not going to be. Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, Texas, probably, right? One of those 4. I mean, when
I
all
hope the
push comes to
playoff.
shove-
I hope the playoff turns everything on its head. I hope the playoff and we have a national champion not from that list. It would be
I think
awful.
one of those 4 will be in the championship game.
Fair.
Whether they win it or not, I don't know. But maybe one of them, the other one gets upset. They got to play. Well, the top 4 teams only have to play 2 to get to it. The other teams have to play 3. That's going to be hard. The road is for not the bye teams. The road is hard to win it. It's going to be one of the 4 is very likely to win. I mean, rating where the games are, when the games are, is going to be so different as far as like the power rate. I'm thinking it through in my head, like, well, geez, this team played, this team didn't. And how much do we weigh that into the line? Somebody might have been 5 or 5.5. Well, if the other team is on rest, now it's 7, 7.5, might be higher depending on the venue. So
interesting. The Heisman Trophy market. Dylan Gabriel, Oregon.
How'd this make the list?
Carson Beck, Georgia, because it's all correlated. Oregon, Georgia, Texas, Ohio State, Alabama.
How do you say the guy's name?
I'm not even starting it. Forget it.
I'm a lever.
We'll figure it out later. It's the same thing when it
Mr.
came
Dabalina, Mr. Bob Dabalina. That's
remember
Nico
the quarterback?
Amaliva.
Remember DJ Ugalale? It's the same situation. We'll figure it out once the game start.
Yeah.
Once the game start, we'll start talking about it. But we have a 14-1 number here on Ole Miss. And Jackson Dart is not one of the top 6 options for the Heisman. I believe he's 18-1. So it's interesting. The books think that Ole Miss is live to win the national championship, same odds as Bama. But if Ole Miss is anywhere near the playoff and Ole Miss is anywhere near winning it all, Jackson Dart's going to win the Heisman. So you have an opportunity if you want to do a correlated play there. Take a long shot on Jackson Dart and take Ole Miss to win the national championship.
Fair, I guess. I don't know. I mean, is Ole Miss really going to win a national championship? And
They've
listen,
got the quarterback and they've got a cocky coach.
Mississippi, Roper's in there every week. I love everything about Ole Miss. uniforms, coach, team. I think they could be great. It just, until I see it, they got to beat, you got to to be the champ. You got to be the champ. You hear it every single year. Big fights, big games. They got to beat them teams.
But Michigan's not even on the radar. Michigan is gone. I mean, so your defending champ is dealing with all types of nonsense. I mean, Paul Feinbaum's getting Jim Harbaugh kicked out of events at Michigan. He can't even go back to Ann Arbor. So he can't even show his face on campus anymore after what happened in the wake of him. So, yeah, I think AOWN, a lot of people are sleeping on the amount of talent Ole Miss brought in on the portal.
Let's go.
You got a cocky coach who wants to put up big numbers.
Let's go.
Kiffin's not going to call off the dogs. He's going to want to put up tons of, huge numbers. So, that's got to be that has to be a recruit. No.
Hello, Patty Lopez.
Patty Lopez.
Well, hi, Patty. Nice to see you. I'm so excited for college football. I went to USCB, but always been a USC fan.
USCB is what? University of Southern Cal.
I think it's UCSB. I think she.
Yes. Okay.
UC,
there we
Santa
go.
Barbara.
Santa Barbara. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, that's good, Patty. That's great. Thank you and welcome. To the brigade. Welcome to the show. And if you like USC, we can talk about USC.
What you think? I'm smoking my breakfast.
See, Butchie.
She corrected it there, by the way.
UC Santa Barbara. There it is.
But Butchie, what do you mean? What am I?
Well, listen, Butchie's all about the LSU. Trying to get Butchie.
He thinks
Vegas
LSU?
for the LSU. He is all about the K-zone.
Okay.
EAUX crap.
Well, that's where I was going. I was.
If he would just be patient once in a while, deuces.
We're bringing it all to you because they got a party brewing here in Vegas coming up on the 1st of September.
Bad news.
60,000 plus coming to Allegiant Stadium for LSU USC.
Yep.
And according to Brett McMurphy in his report with the Action Network, Allegiant will host next year's national championship game.
Yep.
You want to talk about a party. You want to talk about a throwdown citywide takeover. If we get like Ohio State, Georgia national championship game, or we get like we get like an Oregon versus, I don't know, somebody out of the SEC in 2027 for that championship game, this place is going to be absolutely off its rocker.
I hope so. I don't know. It's a Monday in January. We'll see. And it's the third trip for a lot of teams. They're going to come to Vegas and they're going to take it into shorts, donkey kicking the nuts.
Hi, Patty. She works in the poker room.
Well, guess what?
Hi.
We're going to come down and say hello to Patty very soon.
That's
not
great.
Today, Patty. I can't make it today, but damn well I'm going to be down there. Patty, see if we can get a spot for a show. We'll do a show right there in the poker room with you. That'd be great. Wow. I talked to Bob too. Bob's down there at the MGM.
But he's right. Jeff Benny's right. Depending on the matchup, that could be an absolute. And Dave, I would say this: if it's a West Coast team, if it's like an Oregon,
no. If it's a West Coast team, forget about it.
Look out! They'll drive, they'll fly, they'll be here in droves.
They'll come and take over. They'll probably come like Wednesday, right?
Yep.
They'll have the whole freaking weekend to party and then go do the game on Monday. If they keep the format the same, that would be electric. That would be great. We're not going to worry about the weather for the game because it's indoors. I'm not sure I totally like that, but
why?
That's fine for the bowl games. I still think the elements are part of football, and taking away the biggest single game.
Aren't you an NFL football fan?
Yeah.
So you have a problem with where we play the championship game every year? It's the same thing.
The NFC and AFC championships, the biggest games of the year to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but if you're playing
in the elements,
but a semifinal game can be played in the elements. They're not all in bowl games, in domes rather. Some of them are going to be outside.
No, it's fine. I mean, football's meant to be played outside.
I would agree, but we don't play the Super Bowl there, and we're not going to play the championship game there. I'm okay with that. I mean, that's just what we decided. Climate controlled championship games. Here we are. That's what we want. I cannot. I mean, that's going to be so much fun to have the championship game here. I hope it's, look, college football generally is dominated by your typical name brands. So we're probably going to have a pretty big contingency of drunk people coming to town, which will be well welcomed.
Got to start definitely renting out the house, I think. Just got people coming to, we'll just get out of town or something.
Right.
Just sleep in the van.
Move on.
For a couple days. That LSU game is going to be crazy. I asked a couple people trying to scoop two and try to get Butchie here and go to the game. Butchie hasn't seen. When you work in the book for a long, long time, you can't go to games. So he had no opportunity to come.
Jimmy football. What are you talking about? That's nonsense.
Jimmy football there's people that believe that there's a point. I don't know, but the ticket's impossible right now to get here. Like it was, I called a guy that I thought, might be able to hook me up with two. And I was like, it's for a dear friend. Can we figure this out? And he's like, man, I ain't got them. I just ain't got them. They're gone.
Eric, you're right. Once they do it next year here, they're going to go, permanently put it in Vegas. Because that's what happened with the Super Bowl.
Well, they were very happy with
the Super Bowl. They were very happy with the Vegas Super Bowl. They were like, this is perfect.
Yes.
It's all close. Everything is in one area. We can walk to the stadium. No one's driving. There's Ubers everywhere. There's a train system if we need it. Everything's open all night. No one's getting pissed off. You're eating, drinking, partying, doing everything you want, and there's no curfew. People loved the Super Bowl here in Vegas, and I agree with Eric. When they do it in 2027, there's going to be a lot of people say, you know what, just put it in Vegas permanently. Just leave it there. It's perfect. It makes everyone can fly there. Everyone can get there. Hotel rooms are available.
So
here we
funny.
go.
So funny because I said this after we moved here 21 years ago. And, they couldn't come because of the gambling. Again, they were blaming the gambling. Why we couldn't have we couldn't have it because we didn't have a stadium that was real, like they did the Las Vegas Bowl, and it was magic. And we talked about it all the time. And then we said, when the Knights came, we had an indoor facility that was like, have the basketball tournament stuff here. Have it. People will come. We got zillions of conventions that come, and people are very happy with their stay. It's sometimes it's too long.
Coming back.
And they'll keep coming back.
Absolutely.
And now this, using sports.
Patty, we're doing two special shows this week. Your timing is good. Thursday, Friday from Circa. Survivor contest. Yes, we'll be there. This show, Thursday and Friday. And everyone's talking about it. You're right. Everyone is talking about it. You want to play? You live here, so we don't need you. I mean, you need a proxy. We'll take care of you.
Yeah,
if you have to. But otherwise, we'll show you. Come down and we'll explain the whole thing. We'll tell you how to do it, how to sign up. We'll take care of you.
Patty, you're making waves already in the chat, on the show, on the replay tonight. It'll be on Sports Grid and Sirius XM. Patty, come down and say hello if you can, if you're off Thursday or Friday. And
she's coming Thursday. All right, let's go.
This is how you even book the guests. People ask, how do you get on the show? Come in the chat and ask. There you go.
Baseball portion of the show. Critical week for teams in contention. MLB standings as we head towards Labor Day. Here as we are with the wild card standing. Sorry, Dave, no Pirates. San Diego Padres, 70-55. Yep. Diamondbacks, 69-56. And the Braves at 66-58. The next 5 teams are not in. Yeah. Mets are 2 games back. Giants 4 games back. Cardinals 5 games back. 5.5 for the Cubs and 6 for the Reds. This is a very tightly contested National League wildcard race. The American League is a little less, but the Red Sox are still kind of in this thing. They got a big week themselves, 65-58 for Boston. The Yankees are trailing the Orioles. They could win the East. The Orioles, I still think, will win the East, but people are saying bet the Yankees now because you get a decent price on them to win the American League East. Twins are at 70-54, and the Royals at 69-55. It very well might come down to Red Sox Royals as to which team makes the playoffs here for the third wild card for Major League Baseball. Big series. Mariners, Dodgers, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Hence the Dodger stuff today for the show. Just by chance.
Bigger for the Mariners or the Dodgers?
Mariners.
Huge for the Mariners, right?
Yeah. The Dodgers are going to make the playoffs no matter what. Dodgers are just that good. Yeah. They got injuries. They come back. Mookie comes back. Glasnow gets shut down. Like, it doesn't matter. They just keep chugging along. And yes, this is bad. I saw the standings and thought of 2 things. 69 looks like it's the magic number right now with the thing. What did I say? Yeah.
Okay.
Anyhow, I did. But that's the Royals and that's the Diamondbacks. Okay? So,
right.
For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, 69 is how many wins they have. The Mariners might make the playoffs with a good – oh, no, Eron. Sean, look at that picture of that dog. Riley's out 6 to 8 weeks. That's official?
Yes.
Put them graphics back up. That Braves team, you want to talk about the series that it's like the next 2 weeks are critical for the Braves.
Yep.
Because there are 4 teams right there.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if I want to take the Reds serious or not.
No.
I want to take them serious.
No.
And I love Ellie Villa Cruz and everything, but my gosh.
No, the Mets are right there. The Mets are 2 games back in the loss column. They are there.
The Mets, the Giants, the Cardinals, and the Cubs are right there. They're legit right there. It's as far down as I would go.
I can't believe that my Cubs bet to have them win over 84.5 games.
It's live again.
It's live again. It's not going to happen, but it's live. It could potentially. These next 2 weeks and August, I need them to get hot. Like I need like a 10-4 stretch out of the Cubs to get to September with a legitimate shot to get to 85 wins.
I can't believe. And one of my other favorite things about today, but Iggy and the Cubs fans, like they're back. They're going to lurk and be right there.
Mm-hmm.
Pirates had a rough stretch and they had a good weekend, taking 2 or 3. But man, they are out of it. You were right in cutting them off the standings thing. That's fine.
Twins Padres. What do you make of the Twins?
They're not going away either.
They're not going away either. The Twins, I mean, in terms of what they might do, I don't trust them, but they're only a game behind the Yankees for the first wild card. I mean, they're 2 games back in the loss column.
They're going to make the playoffs. I think they're too sound of a team to not. Legit, look at those standings. And dear friend of the show, JC from KC, 87 on the Twitter, but JC from KC has been talking about these Royals and they won't go away and Bobby Witt Jr. and everything else. Can you believe that 3 teams from the American League Central could make the playoffs in baseball?
I mean, I'll be really curious too, because we need to get Joel Sheehan back on because I'm curious what he thinks about what the Royals are doing. Because remember at the break, he told us the Royals were going to take a nosedive.
Right.
He said, hey, their numbers are really bad. He projected them to have a really rough August, and they haven't. They've kept themselves in the conversation a lot thanks to Bobby Witt Jr. going nuclear. The guy's on fire. They have 2 good starting pitching. The bullpen's been good enough. I mean, the Royals are a problem right now. I'm a Red Sox fan, so you're watching them going like, uh-oh. Boston's getting 2 big bats back in Tyler O'Neill and Cassis coming back, Justin Cassis. So they've got their 2 big guys coming back from their offensive perspective, but they can't pitch. Red Sox team ERA is horrific. Worst since July 1st. The worst bullpen since July 1st. So give
the
Boston,
boys and girls, give the baseball heads a chat.
Okay.
A poll to vote on in the chat. Do the Royals make the playoffs? Yes or no?
Oh my God.
We got to ask. I mean, because I don't want to say I'm besmirching them all the time. We'll let the people vote. JC from KC, this is your chance.
But
politic in the chat for your guys.
Bobby Witt can't cool off. He cools off, they're dead.
Well, I mean,
they're dead. I mean, they're dead. That's it. Like if they cool off, they're dead. You're talking about the Braves. Phillies look like they've righted the ship.
They lost yesterday to the Nationals.
Okay, but overall they've turned a
corner. Okay. They're okay. They're not dead. If you listen to Kincaid, and I love Kincaid, and he's coming on the show next. He saw me with Zeno comment, and I said, "You're next." He's next on the show when we get him here. But
nice.
The Philly guys were so despondent.
Yeah.
Like, relax. They're going to be fine. Talk about a bigger series for somebody. Who's this a bigger series for?
Phillies.
See, I think it's life or death for the Braves.
I think
it's life or death.
Everything else after this is life or death. I think the Phillies just need to put I mean, they can put a real big dent in the Braves. They can hurt them bad.
That's why it's more important to the Braves. This is life or death for the Braves. The Braves get swept, let alone, they lose 2 of 3 and lose another game in the standings to not only the Phillies, but to the rest of the wild card. Like, I don't know. The Braves are really, I mean,
what are you talking about?
Red Sox should all go back to the minors.
What are you talking about? They have 2 of the best rookies in the game right now. What are you talking about? Nonsense. Can't pitch. They can't pitch.
Oh, they really can't pitch.
They can hit. They can score with anybody.
Yeah.
They can rake. They just can't get anybody out. And then finally, we have 2 more baseball topics. Guardians, Yankees, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I'm excited to watch this series. Only because I want the Guardians to win so bad.
Right?
I just want them to win so bad. If the Yankees end up playing the Twins as the wild card, that's a dump all win on the Yankees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, Minnesota, I love you. And if you're here, hit the like button while you're here.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a long football season. Vikings, caca. Gophers, please. I mean, they're in the Big Ten, but stop. Twins are your only hope. I mean, they're only hope. And they cannot play the Yankees. They cannot.
No, especially because, we'll talk a little later tomorrow about Aaron Judge, but the numbers that Aaron Judge is putting up this season is just, it's unbelievable. I mean, we talk a lot about Ohtani, but wow, as to what's been going on with Aaron Judge this year and, the home runs he's hitting and triple crowns in play, MVP race is over. He's just been unbelievable. And then finally, the White Sox were officially eliminated over the weekend.
That's it to the White Sox.
In August. They were eliminated in August. First team to be eliminated in Major League this season. 30 wins with 37 games left to go. They got to win to get they have 9. They got to win 11 more games. In the next 37, they got to win 11. Can they go 11-27 the rest of the way?
Man, sorry if you heard that. I keep getting this call from this place in Phoenix that wants to ask if I want to wash my windows.
Oh,
I just leave me. I said, take me off the list. I live in Vegas. Stop calling me. They just keep calling every day. We'll come to your house. We'll clean the window. I don't need them to come here. 30 wins with 37 games left. They have to win how many?
11.
I bet the no.
To get to 41 wins, which would be 41 in, well, hold on. Am I doing the math wrong? I'm doing the math wrong. 162.
Right.
They need 120 losses. So 42 and 120, right? That's the worst record.
12.
So they got to win 13 games.
To tie it is 12.
To not break the record, they got to get to 43 wins.
How are they going to do that?
12.
How are they going to do that?
12 and 25. 12 and 25. Which is horrific. 12 and 25 is awful. They're just going to win 12 games between now and the end of the season.
Holy crap. Does JC from KC have his whole family and everybody voting for the Royals to make the playoffs? Yes. It's 80% so far.
You missed
You did just miss the Royals portion of the show. On vacation in Florida? Go back later. Go back now. Like, just zip it back real quick. Yeah, we just
ain't happening. Butchie says they're breaking the record.
Butchie says no. Butchie telling you, come bet him with him. Bet him wherever you're going to. Bet yes. So if it ain't the Royals, who is it? I don't know. White Sox, what do they win? I think they tie it. Best, right? 12.
119 losses is the AL record. 120 is the AL record for losses.
That's
42 and 120.
Yeah, they're finishing that at best. We'll go
At
over the
best?
schedule more tomorrow. But yeah, I don't think, who are they even playing it that you're going to go, oh, yeah, they're going to sweep them or they're going to take 2 of 3? I mean, they're going to win 1, 2, none, 2, 1. When's the last time they won 2 games in a damn series?
1 game each, next 9 series.
Thank you, Shill. Thank you, Mark Schilling.
That would be something. That would really, really be something. All right, time for the Circus Sports Pro Football Team of the Day. You guys know that live on Thursday, Friday. Circus Sports, where we located. BVB on site again for the Ultimate Football Weekend, contest weekend at Circa. Thursday, Friday, a litany of interviews, guests and appearances, media friends, and everybody. It's going to be an absolute ball. 12 to 2 Pacific time. Thursday and Friday, live upstairs, third floor at Circa Sports, Las Vegas, in town. Looking forward to seeing all of you guys being a part of this here, watching it or coming in to say hi. If you're in Vegas, come on by, say hello, be a part of the show. We'll throw you on Thursday or on Friday.
We may have to start at 11:45 one of the days because we might have booked, or we might have been booked with Derek one-on-one for 15 minutes exclusive
at noon. It's fine.
At 11:45.
Either or. That's fine. We'll start it up.
I saw our guy AO, and he's like, well, Derek wants to do it with you at this time. And I was like,
we'll make it work.
We'll start when Derek wants to start. If we can get it all, we're going to do our tests. And for those of you that have listened to Cash Considerations, he's appeared on this show. Dan Alexander, newbie, is producing the show. That was the other little favorite thing about today that I just let out of the bag. But he'll be back in LA. Once we get everything set up, boom, we'll start.
Be awesome.
No clock, no nothing.
Rocking and rolling for 2 days, Thursday and on Friday. Amanda's going to come to the live show.
Excellent news. Patty will be there on Thursday.
Yeah. She's never seen the show live.
Might be ladies' night.
She's never seen us do this. She's never seen me do the show live. So it's going to be kind of funny. So we're going to have her come.
Does she know what's – I got to pull her aside between now and then and say, listen, when we get dropped off down there, you will not talk to him until we actually start the show. Leave him alone.
Well, she told me, she's like, you're not carrying anything. She's like, I'm not having you throw your back out. So she's like, I'm taking everything.
True.
She goes, she said, I'm carrying everything. So I was like,
we'll
all right.
Get the wagon over there. We'll get the wagon and we'll get the stuff.
She said, you're not carrying anything.
Really can't, because God forbid you do something to the back as we're going in carrying something.
Bad.
Then I'm going to have you do the show lying down.
That'd be kind of funny, though. Kind of funny.
We're not canceling the show.
No.
You're doing the show.
Well, Newbie's producing it, so yeah. At least I'm not the one producing it. Newbie's doing that, so could be on easy. So yeah, she's like, I'm carrying all the stuff, so I'm coming Thursday. You're not going to do that. I was like, all right, so we'll do that. The Buffalo Bills are the team of the day. Win total set at 10.5, 150 to the under. Is the window closing for the Bills in the Super Bowl, Dave? Because 10-7. I don't know how high I'd be if I'm the Bills fan.
That noise?
If they're going 10-7,
we've done almost 700 shows together, and you went, it sounded like Eeyore a little bit.
Here's your schedule for the Buffalo Bills. They open up at home against Arizona. That should be a win, right?
Yeah. Hold on.
They get a big break. They're going to Miami on Thursday night at night. That sucks. I wanted that during the heat of the Miami sun. And that's not going to happen. They're going to get just the heat, not the sun, on Thursday night. Can they win at Miami week 2?
Let's see what that is. It's probably a pick 'em. No,
no,
it is.
Wow.
I still got it. Arizona -7 win. Pick 'em at Miami. Let's say lose.
Yeah, Dolphins. Jacksonville at home.
Buffalo goes down there and wins all the time.
Nah, not in September.
Okay. All right. So 1-1. Jacksonville 4.5.
Win.
Baltimore.
Dog
3.
How about this stretch? Sunday night at Baltimore.
Yep.
Sunday at Houston. Yep. Monday night at New York.
At.
And prime time, not prime time, prime time.
Wow. Dog. 3, 1-1. They're 3-point dogs at Baltimore, 1-point dogs at Houston, and 1.5-point dogs at the Jets. They're winning one of those games. No,
they are. I think they're 4-2, but they could be 3-3.
3-3.
Yeah, 3-3. Very, very possible.
Yeah.
Tennessee should be a win.
7.5-point spread. 4.
At Seattle.
Oh, they're 3-point favorites. That's a tough game in October like that.
Yep. I think 4-4.
I think they win that game.
All right, I'll say 4-4. You have 5-3.
Yep.
Miami at home in November. Bad break for them.
I say win.
All right, I'll give it to you. I agree. 5-4. At Indy.
They'll go and lose that game.
Because they're looking ahead to the Chiefs. I agree.
Yeah, they'll lose that game against the Colts.
And they play the Chiefs before their bye week.
Good week to play them. Dead pick them.
Is it? Is it a good week to
Yeah,
that's a good week.
That's a good week. Yeah. That's a
11,
really good week.
11 weeks, 11 games. What's their record through 11?
1, 2.
I think it's 7-4.
4, 5.
It could be 6-5.
7-4 is what I got. Just quick.
Me too.
Just doing
Yep.
it right now.
I have the same thing, but it could be 6-5 though.
Oh, for sure. It could be 6-5. It could be 5-6. It could be outside shot. It's 8-3, but highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely. 8-3. San Francisco at home on Sunday Night Football after the bye.
They'll lose
Right?
that game. They're
I
favored.
agree.
They'll lose that game.
At the Rams.
Then they go and lose that game.
At Detroit.
Oh boy, baby, that's a tough spot.
That's a tough 3-game stretch. Let's just go 7-4. They're 7-7. And they've got 3 very winnable games. Patriots at home, win.
9.5.
Jets at home, win.
2.5.
At the Patriots in week 18 should be a win.
Bro, that's 10.
There's your 10-7 record and why
What's
it's
the
juiced
number?
to the under.
10.5.
Juice to the under.
Boy, oh boy, this is 9, 10, or 11 and no other number. This is 9, 10, or 11 and no other number. Wow. See, I like this. Just looking at this like the first time today, the schedule.
Tough schedule for the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, who is, woo boy.
Give all the boys and girls, including Patty. Welcome again, Patty, to the chat.
74% said yes to the
Royals making the
Royals.
playoffs. How about that?
My goodness, guys.
Season wins for the Bills. Put 10 because I think 10's a realistic number. Over or under 10. Curious which way people would go. Because there's 2 stretches there, 3-game stretches where they'll be lucky to go 3-3.
Fair. Bills
Good call, Covey. If the Bills go over their win total, then Allen will win the MVP.
I think it's like, look out, Buffalo, look out. This is you had your shot. You had your window.
Well, why are you closing the door on them so quickly? I mean, Diggs left, but okay.
Because it's hard to stay good for a long period of time without winning.
It is hard to stay good.
If you stay right at the top and you don't win a ring, guys leave. Stephon Diggs happens. You lose people because they get angry. They get mad. McDermott's got to go and prove he can beat the Chiefs in a key moment again. Did it once, got to do it again. Got to win it all. McDermott, I don't think he's on the hot seat, but if you don't get to the Super Bowl this year, you don't dethrone the Chiefs this year, people are going to wonder, can you ever? Will you ever find a way?
First order of business again for Buffalo is win the division.
Which
Figure
they
out
should
a way
do,
to beat the
I think
Chiefs.
Miami's tough, though.
Well, no, I don't think. I mean, the Jets are right there, too. If Aaron
We'll see.
Rodgers stays healthy,
Yeah, we'll see.
a lot of people are talking about the Jets being a team.
I don't know what the Jets are until we see the Jets. I don't know. Let's find out what they are. We'll find out quick. But if I'm a Bills fan, I'm not jumping up and down. It's going to be an interesting year in Buffalo for sure. And I agree with Covey. I think the Fins are, I think I have them over their win total. Win in the plus money bet on the Fins to win the AFC East.
Did you crank up the stinger?
Did not.
I had to get new headphones, and I literally can't hear a thing right now. My ears are ringing. My head is ringing. You guys in the car, feel free.
You're the one who keeps on asking me to play it multiple times.
Well, I mean, just in case anybody missed it, you should probably just hit it again real quick. Just for the
BPS, Brigade Proxy Service. We're here. We are available 702-570-8255. We're going to see Chris and the boys from Boston later on today at 3:30 Pacific time. Get them signed up. We got people coming in tomorrow. We'll have people coming in this weekend. If you want to work with us this football season for either the Westgate contest or the 2 Circuit contests. 702-570-8255, or simply go to our website, thebvbshow.com.
We had our first time ever happen. Guy came, signed up his entries, and then hasn't left town and is signing up more entries. It can be done. It's
He
easy.
left town. He's leaving town and coming back. He's going to Denver. He's coming back.
Correct.
And he'll fly back to Canada coming up from Vegas on Tuesday. So
incredible. I was like, wait, do you want to do it today? He's like, I got to get out of town, but I'm coming back to sign up more entries. So it can be done. If you've already signed up and you've been here, like Gio DeWap has, or I don't know, can't think of anybody off the top of my head right now, but if you want to come back, it's easy. We know how to do it. It's a quick fix. You just got to bring the dime, add you to the list. It's a fun time of year, man.
Fun time of the year. Absolutely. The NFL held a conference call today, and they knocked down the idea of the touchback being moved to the 35-yard line.
Whoa.
There is Look, this new kickoff rule is going to cause all sorts of problems. So we've
really?
seen, it's going to be also. So there are people inside the rules committee that are saying, wait a minute, teams just might say, screw it, kick it through the end zone. Like, we're not even going to deal with the penalties. We're going to deal with the potential for kick return touchdowns. Just, you get the ball in the 30 every time. Just boot the thing out of the end zone. So teams and kickers have been kicking the ball short all preseason to figure out how your coverage team is going to be able to handle it. Some teams are okay, but this past week, I saw numerous games with the starting position being the 35, the 38, the 37, somewhere in that range, because, well, your better kick returners now are figuring out ways to block this and to get upfield quickly. So if you're a kick return
Has there
team,
been a kick return for a touchdown yet?
There has not, but there've been a couple of really big returns, though. And there may be teams that just say, you know what? We're not even going to give you the chance. Get the ball on the 30-yard line. We don't care. And that's not what the new rule is supposed to do. So there was thought that they'd make it punitive by changing the rule and saying, all right, fine, now it's the 35-yard line. Because that really is kind of the friction point right now where teams are starting when they run the ball back. So this is going to be a very interesting football season. It's going to be very difficult to figure out. And a lot of people think this.
Football Guy 97. The new kickoff is 100% trash. Starting field position has to be worse than last year so far.
Overall, I don't know, but they may push it to the 35-yard line next season. But this year, they said today, most likely we're not going to push it to the 35 for this season. Maybe next year. For this year, we'll keep it at 30. I mean, they can't change, in my opinion, they can't change it right now because people are still trying to figure out what the heck the rule is now. You can't change it like before the year starts or make no sense.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched the game and I was watching it with the kids. Jess had fallen asleep when we were watching the Steelers. And even my daughters were like, what is that box? Why is there a landing zone? Football is so confusing. And I'm like, it's really not. It's just, well, they got to kick it in that box. And if they do, then they got to return it. But if they kick it past the box and it goes in the end zone, then it's no return. And my daughter's eyes went, I'm glazed over. Like she goes, didn't they used to just kick the ball off and run it back? Most of the time they did, but I don't know. It's too much.
I can't wait. This is going to be really, really wild to see how it all plays out. But week 3, and then we get going here in 2 weeks, basically, for the NFL, and we'll see what happens here with these kickoffs on Thursday Night Football, with a big game on Thursday and a big game on Friday.
Big game.
When it goes live, standalone TV. If it's a mess, NFL is going to have a PR problem on their hands. It's going to be interesting to see how fans react to it.
To see how the whole thing that goes off in Brazil. I cannot believe that the second game of the year is in Brazil.
Yep.
They really reaching out.
With the Eagles playing in it as well.
Yeah.
All right, some games today. The Diamondbacks have lost 3 games in a row, but
not today.
They're laying, $2 against the Miami Marlins.
Yeah. Well, you want anything to do with the Marlins here?
No, I want them to keep losing. Just keep losing.
Yeah.
And I'll be happy. Just keep losing.
Right.
But I don't know. It's tough to back the D-backs. Even against Miami. Even against Miami, I think it's tough to back them today. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Fisher live. I agree.
Fisher live.
Yeah.
Covey says that every day. Fisher live, Covey? Come on.
Royals have won 4 straight. They're laying $2.45 against the Angels.
This is a little surprising to me. This is a
Little
little bit extra.
Uh-huh.
A little bit extra. But I certainly don't.
It's Lugo, though.
I know. I really don't want nothing to do with the Angels either. And I don't think anybody that's betting baseball today does either. That overnight was around $2, and it's minus 240 now, 245 and some. I mean, what? It's KC. Good luck. I don't know.
And the game of the day, Woo versus Stone. Dodgers, Mariners.
Yep.
Mariners are dogs. Plus 115 dogs. We said earlier, the Mariners, this means more to Seattle. Freddie Freeman held out due to a bad finger.
He ain't playing?
He was held out last night. I don't know if he's playing, probably not playing tonight. My guess is he's not.
He still found a way to win a 2-1 game in St. Louis that I really thought that they weren't going to win. But what? Don't you fall for the trap, or you take the Mariners here? Or like what? I don't know.
Tough game. Under is probably a better play.
Yeah, I'll do the baseball work after the show while we're down there meeting these guys and getting them signed up before I go on the grid later. I haven't looked yet what Wetzel's coming up with. Me and Wetzel are doing it tonight. He'll have a Black Cloud play of the night. If you guys ever watch it, whatever it is, usually a fade. Just keep an eye on it.
That's mean.
No, it's the game that looks so obvious,
right?
That you play it and it loses.
You mean he's fading the obvious play, not fading his bet?
No, it's the Black Cloud play of the night. Yeah, he puts it up as
right.
the Black Cloud with the thing and the graphics and all this other stuff. And then he goes, this is the one that you just can't lose. And this is the one that, blah, 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 blah. And then inevitably it loses more than it wins.
Right.
Yeah.
One more before we get to better to book it. BetFred is looking at leaving the United States.
Oh, boy.
Their CEO has hinted at a possible departure, referencing that further downsizing will be expected with a litany of states that they operate in. They operate in Nevada, they'll operate in Ohio and other states. This is a pretty big brand here in town, a brand that you and I know, worked with here for BVB for a period of time. They've got. Are you
surprised by this news?
I'm not surprised by it, but they've got the money to hang on for as long as they want. Like, they have a mountain of money in England. Like, if they want to be in the States, they could be in the States. This tells me that even though they can withstand the losses, they're just not interested. That the European companies are coming in and saying, you know what? It's just not worth it. Like, we're never going to make the money back.
Isn't that just business in general?
Yeah.
We sat in that building. We sat with every person. We had Brian Bennett on the show, who was the COO.
U.S. head, yep. For years. We had Brian on for a while.
Yeah. We sat with, a couple people that were very high up. And
yep.
I mean, you tell them what I told them. I mean, I told them, like, you guys, there's only one way to do this if you really want to do it. And they didn't want to do it, with us. I mean, they did it a couple other different ways, and it doesn't work.
It doesn't work if you aren't going to be aggressive. I mean, I think BetFred came in and they were aggressive in certain states, but I think most people did not know what BetFred was. And they didn't want to spend the money to get their brand to be known. They wanted to be a national player, but they didn't want to spend national type dollars. And then they came in late, way too late here in Nevada, and didn't spend any real marketing money to be known. And they went to a property that nobody wanted to be a part of and nobody goes to.
It was just bad. I love this guy.
It was just bad after bad. I know. I saw it.
Yeah. He knows. He knows too.
It's just bad after bad. I mean, and so, they spend
it's
a
bad
ton of
after
money.
bad, but it's bad after whatever works for inside first.
Sure.
If you don't think outside always first, just taking care of whomever inside and this and that, you can't win. You have to book the games with a third-party app, with some office in some foreign country making the decisions. And then when you decide to bring this, air quotes for you guys listening or wherever you get podcasts, you bring a system in that is completely foreign, doesn't work great, has inconsistencies with pricing or odds or just usability, and then tell guys who have been in the space for 20 years, 10 years, whatever, hey, we're using our system. Okay, well, where's the game numbers? We don't use us. What, the home team's on the top? Yeah, that's the way we do it over there. Oh, well, we're only going to do certain futures, and we're going to have dead heat rolls, and we're going to have this. Everything that you tell everybody's going to work or do, and it doesn't work because you don't listen. That's the hard part, because you can tell them when they get here. Now, you always used to say this to me, do they want it to make it work? I don't know. Now, leaving pretty quick. It was a flash in the pan. We were here, and we're leaving because we can't make it here. It's a tough spot.
It's a tough spot, but I think the window that that people like BetFred had in the U.S. market was live. I mean, they had a shot. They just fumbled it. Like, they had a shot. I really do believe that BetFred, because of their popularity in England and the betting shops they have all over England, and their look, BetFred it still is a monster advertiser and a monster player in the European markets in the UK. That when they came over here, they just thought they could just throw up their name and everybody would be like, oh yeah, what BetFred? The hell does BetFred mean? Who the hell is Fred? Like, you didn't brand yourself to anybody. You didn't explain. Like, the thing that all these books I think are forgetting, that DraftKings and FanDuel had a head start because people had used the apps for DFS. They were already comfortable with them. So you're already at a disadvantage because the US market, people were accustomed to what they were going to see. And so you have to figure out a way to bring those people to your app with an offer and influence something, better prices. What's the hook? And it's not going to be Jamie Foxx. Like, it's not going to be some celebrity that's going to bring people in. It's going to be actual using the product.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I just can't figure this whole thing out where I'm like, guys, let McDonald's and Burger King go. You're In and Out. You're Shake Shack. Like, you're going to be a smaller entity. You've got the money. You have the branding. You have what it needs to be successful, but you're never going to be DraftKings. You're never going to be FanDuel. Be comfortable and be okay with that, but just do what you do really, really well. Shake Shack's all about really good ingredients, right? They were a New York City. They were in fine dining. They made a New York City place, and people were like, damn, those burgers are awesome. You just did burgers. They really did burgers well. Okay, that's awesome. Go be the best version of that. I can't figure this whole thing out. Why nobody wants to differentiate themselves, and they think that same game parlays are the way you do it, and try to get a 10% hold is how you do it. I just don't get it.
The problem is the licenses all cost the same.
Okay.
Alex talks about it when he comes on Whale Watcher
But
Wednesdays.
Sport Trade's doing something different. They're trying something different.
They are, and you got to give them credit for it. The BetFred guys already knew everything. We've done this in England forever. You guys don't know what you're talking about.
They thought we're going to throw a switch and everything's going to work. And you and I sat there, and I was just like, I don't know who you are. And you're going to be sponsoring this show, and I don't bet with you. Like, I don't bet with you. So, like, if I'm your target demographic and you're sponsoring the show that I'm a part of, and I don't use you, that should bring like red flags everywhere. Like, well, Matt, why aren't you using you? Well, Circa's odds are more competitive. Well, the Superbook's got more options than you guys do. Well, I can use FanDuel. Boyd's got FanDuel's app, so I can bet on FanDuel using Boyd. So I'm not going to bet with you guys because you don't have mobile. I'm not going to Virgin. I'm not driving down there. You're not even going to have mobile in Vegas.
I downloaded the Iowa app because we were on in Iowa, and
Right.
they did sponsor that show that we did in Iowa. That if anybody wants to do that, we can do that again. And that was a huge hit.
Yeah.
We made some traction, and they just pulled it after we did it, and it was like, wait a second, we actually have people responding and doing stuff. Everybody thought it would be a quick hit and just come in and do it. Think how long it took the Beatles, who came from England, right, to come over here. And people were like, wait a second, what is this? Who are these guys? Some people liked them, some people didn't. But then they became, a long time here and got established and ingratiated into the culture. And it worked. American Idol, America's Got Talent. They brought it over from there and it worked here. How many other things have been brought over here and not worked? Like, it wasn't just going to be a turnkey operation, and they treated it as such.
It's going to be wild. I mean, it's going to be a really crazy time in the space for the next, I don't know,
year,
6
years?
months, 6 months to a year. The space is quickly contracting. It's very, very fast. How fast?
The BetFred is big in Mexico. How about
Sure.
that?
Yeah, internationally they're gigantic. They thought they'd come in here and they'd dominate because they weren't competing against established brands in Mexico.
Okay, so then be good in those places.
Correct.
I would be running to the states where there aren't those other ones. I would have gone to force it. That's why I went to West Virginia. I thought, well, geez, there's enough business in West Virginia to be great.
Right.
In that business, if you keep it small and lean. And then we would draw people from Pittsburgh, Ohio, and maybe even Kentucky, because it all touches. And if you establish it long enough, and their expectations were through the moon. I was like, you guys aren't going to, what are you talking about? We need to, make sure this works. And once it works, then we need to tell everybody about it. And then we need to bring them in and show them how to work it.
Tough deal. Better to book it. All right, two quick ones. Boston, Houston, over 8. The Red Sox can't get anybody out. They went over 2 of the 3 games against Houston at Fenway. Red Sox, Tanner Hawk's last 5 games, he's lost all 5 of them. Team has lost in games he has started, and they're all 9-7 baseball games. Sox bullpen's horrible.
I want to say that this should probably be a bet. I'm worried that the Red Sox don't score much tonight.
Ooh, no. The guy they're facing for the Astros gives up runs. So they're not facing one. Yeah. Red Sox scored. He gave up 7 runs in 4 innings when he was with the Blue Jays.
With Toronto? That's
Toronto.
fine. It doesn't matter.
ERA's 11 against the Red Sox this year.
Okay.
I'm going over
right.
8. And then I'm going against the world. Giants, White Sox, over.
Oh, yeah. Over 7.5. You saw 7.5. It's paid at 8.
Oh, it's back to 8. Okay. 7.5 last night. People are betting the over. Okay. I think both these teams can't pitch. They're both just cannon for the White Sox is horrible. He's cannon fodder. And the kid to go in for the Giants equally.
Yeah, I say book this one. This game goes under. This is how the White Sox are going to score? 5-4. Woo!
5-4 final. We're going over. We're going over here with that. I don't know who wins. Because the White Sox would beat the Giants. The Giants suck as bad as the White Sox.
Are the Giants minus 225?
Yes.
This is so much fun. When you get to September and you get teams.
This is fun.
So out of it. Yeah, no, making this number and then watching legitimately, if you're betting the Giants tonight side, are laying 220. I don't know. That's hard to believe for me. But first game of the series is toughest for the favorite. Dog is live in that game.
I would agree. Oh, Rosie says,
the over.
Look at that. Rosie says, yeah.
Rosie. Sox beat my Giants. What did he say? Put that back up. Sox beat my Giants. 2 of 3, I promise. Wow. That doesn't sound encouraging, Rosie. What the hell is that?
Giants aren't very good. It's just bottom line. Giants they're just not a very good team at the moment. So we're going over. I think both teams score here with bad pitching and bad bullpens. Both teams don't care for anything. We're going over. Guys, favorite thing about today will be seen on the other side in bonus time. If you are watching on Sports Grid or listening on SiriusXM and you want to hear it, fly over to either our audio podcast where you can find it anywhere, Boston versus the Book, or our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book. It's Bostonian versus the Book on Apple Podcasts and every other podcasting platform, but YouTube is at Boston versus the Book. He's Dave. I'm Matt. We're back tomorrow. Same place, same time for you guys who are watching on replay. If you're with us live, don't move. You guys get bonus. Jeremy told me that sounder is his wake-up call to go to bed because Will tends to leave it up and has it be part of the replay on Sports Grid.
Yep.
So when he hears that sounder, it wakes him up from when he's sleeping on the couch. Because he's in Toronto and he falls asleep to the show every night.
Really?
So he says he watches it from 1 a.m. to 3.
Right.
He puts it on and goes to sleep. And then that sounder wakes him up and just shut the TV off and go from his couch to his bed at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I believe it because
I believe it.
It's happened to me. I'm watching on Sports Grid because I want to see what, commercials run during it and all these other things.
Right.
And if I'm tired, I'll doze off. And that damn stinger gets me every time. It's like, oh, yeah, that's good. So
very cool. Favorite thing about today is what?
2 things. One, I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Big Head Chad and his wife, Rachel. Welcome to the brigade and watching the show. I had a tremendous visit with them when they were here. They got 2 little boys, and this was their first trip. Like they could go as just a couple.
Nice.
And get away. Hang out, got him down to Red Tail to watch the fights.
Nice.
And he hit that bet. So we're going to have him on. I'm lining up guests next week already for Talk College Football. So Big Head Chad's going to come on, make his debut here on the brigade. He's a West Virginia guy, and he's got an opinion on that West Virginia-Penn State game that has to be told on the show. So that's my number 1 favorite thing about today. Number 2 is that tomorrow is the grand opening of the Sicilian Guys Trattoria. Now, our guy, Chef Iggy and Frankie, him and his son and the family.
Their third location?
So they have the Omelet House,
yes,
which is down in Summerlin and Lake Mead and Rampart. And then they have the Omelet Cafe, which is up at Sky Canyon by me.
Okay.
They opened up the Sicilian Guys Pizzeria, which is right in the same parking lot as the Omelet joint down in Summerlin, Lake Mead and Rampart, where they're opening up a fine dining Italian casual restaurant with an outdoor porch and stuff tomorrow. And I've been going and helping and scouting and doing all this other stuff. I've moved furniture for them in the building and stuff. So tomorrow's the grand opening, which might be a perfect spot to do a show. And to make sure that once they get everything open and stuff, either I'm going to be there on location, you be there. We're going to get something. I told them this week we're busy. We're already doing live shows and things. But it's fun to see something that was a different restaurant be turned into something that is going to be basically his legacy. And I believe, haven't confirmed, that there's a dish, not sure which one we went with, but it's the consig. Whether it's a sandwich or a dish, he said, I think we're going to call it that. That would be perfect for the Italian theme and stuff. So we might have a sandwich named after us, P-Roll. Everything about today.
Very cool. 2 things for me. The first, I can't believe you didn't do this read. I'll do this read. If you guys follow VSiN on X or on their other platforms, tonight is episode 1 of the Circa Survivor 2023 documentary that Dave, I was a part of it a little. Dave's prominently part of it.
Yeah.
For the Brigade Proxy Service. Episode 1 airs tonight. I'm not sure when episode 2 and 3 will air, but it's going to air tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific. Dave's in the trailer. If you're watching it on VSiN socials, you'll see the trailer. Dave's in that trailer. So you'll have a pretty cool look. Have you ever thought about like what the fuck is all this stuff that goes on with the Circa Million and Circa Survivor and what is this proxy service nonsense? This is a good way of learning more about it and might get you inspired or interested in coming to Vegas to sign up for the 24 contest. So that's one. Secondly, we're going down in about an hour and a half to go meet some guys from Boston coming in to sign up for the contest, which is always going to be a lot of fun. So I'm psyched to see Chris and his crew as they're in town to sign up with us for the Brigade Proxy Service.
Should I wear?
I
was going to wear the Astro stuff just to jag them.
I don't think it's a great idea. I would wear Celtics stuff if I were you. I don't.
They're used to the Celtics stuff.
Yeah, because they want to make you got to be one of us. You got to be one of us.
Sixer stuff, maybe.
Oh, that's fighting words. But see, the Sixer stuff, we're not really like nervous about the Sixer stuff. So that's kind of funny. We'll just laugh. They'll just laugh at that. They'll go, "Oh fuck, you're a Sixers fan? Sorry, that's got to be tough."
Right.
It's got to be a tough road to walk down every year.
Can't wait to hear the accents.
If they have them, they may not have them. We'll see. I don't know if they're straight townies or not.
Yes.
If they are, we'll take care of you. If you're a townie, you want to come in, we'll take care of you. So, two things are fun. Yeah, your Knicks stuff even worse. If you really want to jag them, wear Knicks stuff, and they'll just fall down laughing, going like, "Wait a minute, I got to sign up with a Knicks fan." Oh boy, this is going to be something else. So, check out those things at VSiN. Yankees. Well, we don't care about them much anymore because we've won 4-1, so they're not even like that much of a threat anymore. I think Red Sox, I think Boston people, we actually hate, if you're talking about like who we like now, like really, really despise.
Yeah.
It's more like the teams that knocked out the Bruins in the playoffs. It's like the Florida Panthers have probably as much hate as the Yankees do. There's more historic hatred with the Yankees, but it's like, I don't know, guys, as long as Aaron Boone's your manager, we're not worried. Like, it's just kind of like, keep going. So.
He said that, not me.
Sox have won in 2018. Like, I mean, in the last decade, the Red Sox have won a World Series. So it's more than most people in Boston thought they would see. So, guys, thank you for being here. Hit the subscribe button, leave a review, do anything you can to promote the show. We appreciate you for doing so. We're back.
This is review week. If you're listening on the audio portion of the show, leave a review.
Okay.
That's a good idea. I forgot to say that at the top. Leave a review.
And Apple Podcast is now. Yeah, and Apple Podcast just changed their whole formats too. So if you listen to Apple Podcast, you can watch it on your desktop now. So there's no, you just have to download like a whole separate thing and whatnot. So now it's just on you can go to applepodcast.com. So it's easier to leave reviews now.
Oh, awesome.
So yeah, so Apple is turning the juice up.
Great.
Yeah, they're turning their juice up on podcasts. So if you're an audio listener,
turn it up.
You guys can go and do that. So please leave a review. That would be awesome. Dave, Matt, tomorrow back for a Tuesday's BVP.